Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening, everyone. Let us open our session with Ummu Kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay. First of all, thank you all for coming. Inshallah, today we'll have a sharing session on Ranjit Bhagwan Singh research grant. So this year, Ranjit Bhagwan Singh grant has opened, and the closing date will be on the 18th of February 2023. And this year they only award a young Malaysian scientist, where they're going to give us 50,000 ringgit per award. So the project must be within 24 months or 24 months or 2 years. So let me introduce you to today's speaker, which is Associate Professor Dr. Hairul Aini Hamzah. So she's a microbiologist and also immunologist. So basically she teaches microbiology and immunology. So she has been working with COM for 12 years. She obtained a PhD back in Kulliyyah of Medicine. And she obtained the Ranjit Bhagwan Singh grant back in 2019. So she, according to Dr. Hairul Aini, she's about to close the grant, but she's waiting for a paper publication. So without further delay, let's welcome Dr. Hairul Aini Hamzah to deliver her sharing session. Dr. Hairul Aini, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Roslina. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Roslina and also the Office of Responsible Research and Innovation for inviting me to share my experience on how I secured the Ranjit Bhagwan Singh research grant back in 2018. Even though I'm the recipient for RBS 2018, I received a letter that informing me as the recipient in July 2019. So I started utilizing the grant at the end of 2019. But then, as you know, that the COVID-19 pandemic has struck us, and because of it, I have to extend the study period. I finished the study early this year, but not completely closed because I've yet to publish an article, as I mentioned by Dr. Rosina. So the article is currently under review. So my objective of today's sharing is so I can share with everyone how I applied the grant, how I did my proposal, and to help the audience in preparing their proposal. I applied this grant because I was running out of research grant, as it was important for my PhD student to have a budget to pursue her study, which is, if you know, Sister Fazlin is my PhD student. That is the main reason why I search for grant. Yeah, doing research, we need grant money. Yeah, cannot without that. So I also, at that moment, I also look up for Torre Foundation, also for young scientists, at that time. But I pursue, apply with Dr. Ranjit Bhagwan Singh grant. And from there, it is actually the first time I also get knowing detail about academic science in Malaysia. And while surfing the information, I found that my ex-supervisor from UPM also one of the recipient long time ago. So it kind of motivated me to pursue with the application. Even though my friends said it was a tough grant, I remember Dr. Rosina also said it was a tough one. And then I just do it. I just do it. I want to try my best. Whether I got it or not is secondary. That is my effort, inshallah. So as you know that the grant application is open now, and the area for those who can apply is in the medical and biomedical science. Yeah, so you still have time to polish your proposal. Yeah, they doesn't mention specific niche area, for in the medical or biomedical science. As long as the medical and biomedical science, you can apply. It doesn't mention necessarily microbiology, immunology, or physiology. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I think it is good to know about the grant itself and how the grant is become available to us. The founder is the late Dr. Ranjit Bhagwan Singh. He was a philanthropist, meaning that he promote the welfare of others by donating something for money, for example, for a good causes. So he graduated from University of Edinburgh, Scotland. And when he come back after PhD and working in Malaysia, he established a division of bacteriology and IMR. He was very interested in study of salmonella, salmonellosis. So, but it doesn't mean that only microbiologists can apply for this grant. So he also working with WHO Research Center. So he's very interested in research. So back in 1987, upon the demise of Dr. Ranjit Bhagwan Singh, he donated his entire estate for the benefit of society in the research. So he there is an agreement between MOSTI and the successor of Dr. Ranjit Bhagwan Singh was signed in 1987. Then MOSTI appointed Academic Science in Malaysia as the body that will launch the program utilizing the money. So that time, Dr. Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Haji Omar Abdul Rahman was the president of Academic Science Malaysia. Having said about Academic Science Malaysia, we also I think it's a good idea to know about Academic Science Malaysia. So what is the Academic Science Malaysia? Academic Science Malaysia consists of fellows, fellows who are actually outstanding scientists who has contributed tremendously in the area of science, technology, and innovation, STI. Basically, they are think tanker, they are change maker for the STI in Malaysia. So I think it's good idea also if you know what is their agenda, what is their aim, so that your proposal will you in a good direction, in a correct direction towards their mission. Okay. So the RBS grant, as Dr. Roslina mentioned, is for scientists, young scientists below than 40. Why below 40? Yeah. Yeah, it's young. So if you're not 40, then you have to find another grant lah. So in 2008, there is one study saying that they selected 300 highly cited scientists from different fields, microbiology, psychiatry, clinical medicine, and they found that the research productivity is peaked at the age of 31 and 35 years old. So, and then after that, it gradually decreased with the advancing age, including myself. That is true. I wish that I can improve back, go back up like when I was young. Yeah. So hopefully that will happen. So it is 50,000, but when back then, when I applied in 2018, it was only 30,000. Yeah. Maybe because of the current situation, the economy, and most of the item price has increased, so they increased it. So the process is involved of the filling online application and endorsement by HOD before the due date. So you have to upload your endorsement by HOD. At my time, it was HOD. I don't know if with the current 2023, you need to go through Kulliyyah, Head of Research, or through RMC. I'm not sure, but during my time, no need to go through RMC. And the Academic Science of Malaysia, they will evaluate. There is a committee that will be formed and evaluate your proposal, and result will be informed through a letter signed by the trustee secretary in MOSTI. Yeah, so the letter signed by MOSTI. Okay, so the application procedure, this is almost the same as what I did before. There is a 6 section. There is personal particular, section A, B, C, D, and endorsement form. So for personal particular, I think now it's a little bit different, where you need to register, and then they will give you an account, and then you fill in your particular there. I think I remember they requested a H index for my application. At one time, my H index is not so high. So if your H index is, like me, not too high, then that is not a priority. Yeah, you just go on, fill in the application form. Okay. So for section A is knowledge generation, section B, knowledge dissemination, impact of research output, and research proposal. For section D, where there is a form that you can download from the website and fill in offline. Okay, the scope of the grant. Yeah, the grant for that 50,000 is only for research material. You cannot use the grant for traveling, hiring research assistant, or purchasing equipment. Yeah, so why is it so? Because this grant, if you see, the 50,000 is not enough for a big research study. So the idea is a seeding fund. It is seed funding that to help research to develop a novel idea. So meaning that you have to have a bigger grant. So this is RBS can supplement your current grant. Yeah. So that is the aim, on the idea of this grant. Okay. So yeah. And then the assessment criteria is not as detailed as FRGS. In FRGS, it will give you like the fraction for how much mark for each of the section. But for the RBS grant, it just say that 50% quality penyelidikan or research quality, 20% impact, 20% innovation, and 10% value of money. But you can see from the research quality, 50%. It's based on your research proposal that you write in the form, research proposal form. So in the form, it's a kind of guided form where it's in which a specific information will be asked. For example, like for literature review, how many words that you need to write, yeah, something like that. And from your proposal also, they will check the feasibility of the experimental plans, whether it's achievable or not. So they would like to know how is there facility, is there, is any equipment, the tool is enough. And then if it is not enough, how you mitigate the problem. So it means that from your proposal, they will know that you know details about your study. Yeah, you know detail about study from A to Z. And you cannot just pass it to your RA and you know, let them find out. And you should know. Even my time, at that time I study. I learned from my PhD student. I learned from my student on how they do on tissue culture. So that I can write my proposal confidently. Yeah. Okay. For number 2 and 3 and 4, impact, innovation, value, and money from the section A, B, and C lah. Okay. So my suggestion is you write everything offline. You compose how the section for section A, B, and C, and when you're comfortable with it, and you go online and copy and paste. Okay, let us look at for each section, yeah. We go for section A, it's about knowledge generation. So they would like to know what is the new knowledge that can be established from your study, from the research finding. So basically it is the finding that will fill in the research gap, right? So this is an example what I wrote in my proposal. I say that this research finding will contribute to the knowledge or pathogenesis of occult hepatitis C, and can be elucidating, including effector immune cells. Furthermore, it confirming replication, effectivity in vitro, which suggests the in vivo mechanism. So just one paragraph, yeah, about one paragraph. Section B is a knowledge dissemination. Knowledge dissemination, they would like to know how you share your data. Journal, like name the journal and what is the impact factor, and a minimum of number of specific paper can be published from this study. I say about one paper or something like that, or 1-2 papers. Don't put too much paper because yeah, it is good to be ambitious, but not too too much lah, towards that something that is not achievable. So one paper is okay. Yeah, that's why they request at least one paper to be published. Okay, I would like to highlight that Academic Science of Malaysia also has an initiative last year where they have the open science platform. It's basically on encouraging a researcher to share their data in open access, open collaborative platform. So they make a survey among a researcher, and they found that a researcher in Malaysia is still like working in silo, meaning that they just do their research and publish, and then and the other people may be doing the same. Other people may be doing the same things. Yeah. So this need to be break. So they want that's why they make this initiative to come up from the conventional method and more open to the community and have collaboration with industry, for example. Yeah, so that is their initiative. So if you know that the Academic Science Malaysia has this initiative, so we must go along lah, Italy. So our objective, our study must go along with their agenda lah. Yeah. Okay. For section C is impact of research output. So they would like to know from the finding of the study, how it will give impact to the community, to the government, to the industry, to the academia, for example. So you must have read the policy or guideline that is available from the government website, or even from the national body like WHO, UNESCO. It must be tally with their agenda. Yeah, so your research output must be fit in the agenda. Yeah, and then you can also include how many postgraduate student, how many final year student that can be generated from from your study. That is considered output of your research. Yeah? And then for research finding, they will like to know the potential which can be translated into benefit of the community in terms of economy, with meaning that value for money. Yeah, so they would like to know that. So for this part, actually, I wrote a quite long on explanation how my research output can benefit to the community at the international, at the national level. So this is the example of what I wrote before. I said that what is the current situation in the world, and WHO targeted to eliminate the infection by 2033, and what happened in Malaysia, and then the awareness of the occult hepatitis C is still lacking in particularly in immunosuppressed patients. So I think that my research finding will help in the diagnosis so that we can stop the transmission. So it so it befitting WHO aim to eliminate the infection. So that's how I wrote. I even write about other things. Yeah. So this is just one of the examples. So this is the main component actually in the application, which is section D, your proposal. So first of all, about the study title. So I list down here the recipient of RBS grant and their study title. In FRGS, the study title contribute 5%, but I do not sure in RBS grant how they assess your proposal. But you can have a good examples here. Most of the recipient write about assessment, elucidating, investigation of something, and towards what problem. So basically, their type of study is pure and applied kind of research, like FRGS grant, a big kind of grant that they will apply. So basically, there is a gap that can be filled up. So for the literature review introduction, in the form, they mention about, please state the current status of related research in Malaysia and abroad. So I don't write too long. It's only 4 paragraphs here, but make sure it's concise. Yeah. For paragraph 1, only one statement about what happened in abroad, in national, in international, in worldwide, and what happened in Malaysia, and then narrow down to the group of study, which is hemodialysis. Yeah, why I study among hemodialysis? Because of the transmission, nosocomial transmission is high compared to the public population. So number 1 is that is in paragraph number 1. And then number 2, I have to define the problem, because occult hepatitis C is not a routine diagnosis. Yeah, even many clinicians don't know about occult hepatitis C. So I have to explain what is occult hepatitis C. If you think that your studies like hypertension, for example, maybe is well known, maybe you don't have to elaborate too long. But for me, I have to 1 paragraph just for definition of what occult hepatitis C. Yeah, so you have to know what their expectation. If you know what the expectation, you know what to write. Yeah, and then I put a recent study related to occult hepatitis C and the gap. Paragraph 4 is gap, and then we jump to the objective. So in your objective, even though it's stated here, specific objective statement hypothesis less than 400 words, I also put my problem statement before I come to the hypothesis and main objective. So in my problem statement, if you can see here, I put a piece of data of finding of my current study, As you know that the RBS grant, as I mentioned, they are seeding fund, right? So meaning that it was complement the other bigger grant. So I mentioned here that we have demonstrated the existence of OCI in hemodialysis patients. So it is convincing them that the study is feasible because the virus is already there. Yeah, so that kind of thing that you can put in your proposal. So let's say if you don't have any data, please find any data from your setting, from hospital, and make a analysis of it. So that data can become your results. So that result is a basis for your research finding, for your objective or your study. Yeah. So please put something that from your findings, not others. Okay. And then you write a hypothesis, basically what you think, yeah, and then the objective. Yeah. So my objective is only 2 objectives because 30,000, how much I can achieve from that 30,000, right? So I just make 2 objectives, which is to establish a system and then to assess the effectivity. So next is the methodology. Yeah, methodology, I just write about the key methods. Yeah, detail, small method, I do not write it. I just write a key method, but detailed elaboration on the key methods. If you have a flow diagram, that is much better. So easier, is presentable, so easier for them to understand your method. Yeah, we need to list the instrument that are available in your settings, showing them that it is feasible. Outsourcing, let's say the instrument is not there, so you can mention about outsource the certain method, yeah, from outside lah, yeah, where utilizing their money, utilizing the budget allocation. But I will recommend you to confirm with them whether outsourcing is allowed or not. Yeah. Last time when I did my outsourcing about 1,000, and then I mentioned for justification why I need to outsource a bit portion, yeah, from my study. So facility, in the research proposal form, I wrote the facility, what is the facility available in our building, and what are the available equipment. So I wrote everything equipment, and showing them that I can do it just here, be in the Kulliyyah of Medicine. Yeah. And then, as I mentioned, methodology, key method, but details. Yeah. So showing them that you know what you are doing, you know what the item that we need to have to accomplish your study. And I even put a reference for certain method, so that it means that somebody has done it, yeah, and I improvise it, yeah. So yeah, the tips is make sure it is feasible and showing them that it's feasible, achievable. Next is milestone. Yeah, milestone is what you want to achieve for a long-term period of time. Big aim, yeah, that you will get for a long term. One milestone, 2 milestone, and 3. For example, my study, I have like 4 milestone for 2 years. Yeah. So I put it within 6 months, 1 milestone, and another 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, yeah, and so on. So this is an example of milestone. And this is an example of my Gantt chart. This is exactly what I wrote, colorful like this, yeah, presentable and easy for them to digest. Like what in one milestone, what are the phases that involve, and what are the tasks that is need to be accomplished for each phase. Yeah, it's like that. Then there is a part that you need to show about the cost. I wrote details about the item names. Yeah, it's good if you can elaborate a little bit, like fecal hypack for what or something like that, and the estimated price. Yeah, yeah. So I even put the name of a manufacturer so that it shows them that I already used this and I want this. Exactly, you know what you want to do. Yeah. So it's not about winning the proposal, but it's also winning to accomplish and complete the project. It can be shown in the in your proposal. Last time back then, I have to put extra information in my application, but I don't know is the current this year, yeah, whether this extra information is needed or not. The extra information they want is a complete grant. This one we can just copy and paste from RMS view version 2 research management system. Yeah, they want a complete grant. And authorship, they want to know how many, you know, you author, how many publication, yeah. So they want to know also graduate students, how many graduate students as a main supervisor. They also would like to know about awards. Not many awards that I have, it's only national awards, but no problem, you still can apply it. Publication, they need what type of publication? The first is the journal and proceeding. So I just list down all my journals and proceedings and other publication. Project investigator is another extra information that is needed. It's only for national. If you have international co-investigator, that is better. But for national, I encourage you to include a researcher outside IIUM, especially from the research university, that is much better. So yeah, Dr. Zulkifli is one of my friends, initially working together. He's doing hepatitis E or something, and then, but he diverted a little bit. So yeah. Okay. Delivery output. If you become the recipient, you have to submit report every year, 12-month interim report, where the financial report need to be endorsed by the finance office. This one you just need to email to RMC, they will handle it. They will give you a report. And in the report, there is also a format that you need to fill in, a report formatted provided, and they will provide, you just fill in accordingly. For example, they will they ask for picture or photo of your facility, so you'll supply that to them. With every 6 months, they want a progress report. Progress report is something that you need to write on the PowerPoint. PowerPoint in your findings. What is current problem? Okay, and upon completion, they need a status of manuscript, whether it has been published or not. In a progress report, I also mentioned about the human resource that I involved in my study, who are the expertise, who are the consultant, the student, how many student, technician, and research assistant, if available. So basically, we are almost finished. This is my reference. You can have a look at the Academic Science of Malaysia website, and there is also Facebook of Academic Science of Malaysia, so you can have a look. Mostly website on the news and policy that are available there. So that, as I say, so you write your proposal according to their agenda, what they want. Okay. So summary, type tips in writing proposals. I get to know into the history of the grant and what is their aim and agenda. What is the intention of the grant? So that is one of the tips. And then you draft the idea based on the current work. That is important also, that you must have current finding. So from there, you can fill it up gap of research. And then build a good teamwork. This is also important. You need teamwork members who can complement each other, can support you to complete your work. Feasible methodology, and that it be written in a methodological part. Construct achievable milestone and Gantt chart, and then the proposal as usual after your writing, and then you need to attend to your proposal several times, meaning that you write and you leave it for 1-2 days and then come back and read it again until you're satisfied. And then after that, you submit. Finally, after you submit, then you get updates from ASM Secretariat if necessary. Otherwise, you just wait until the letter comes to you. And then in meanwhile, you can just look up at the grant opportunity, because as I told you, I got the result after 6 months, about in July 2019, meaning that after 8 months. So that's quite long time. So you can look up at the opportunity. continue your work. Meanwhile, if you don't have grant, continue your work steadily. And then doa, tawakal. I just wish like it was 50-50. I don't hope so much, but I wish I got it, something like that. Yeah, that's all. Any question?
Dr. Hairul, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned because you applied that RBS grant back in 2018. I saw some of your reference. Some of them were 2006, 2007. So do they have any restriction like FRGS? They want only 5 years reference back. If you have to use the old reference, you need to state why you want to use that, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
is there any specific in the RBS grant that you can use the old references?
It is the same actually. It's better to have a recent reference. But as I mentioned, for my study, I have to define what is occult hepatitis C. So I have to bring back to them the history of occult hepatitis C, where it first been found, what is the consensus, is still be, people still don't agree about occult hepatitis C. I have to bring back that in my literature review. So that is the reason why you find that back in 2006, 2007 kind of reference. But for the current study, yes, you have to refer to the latest reference. Yes, true.
Even the method also, you need to justify.
Yes.
Yes.
They don't request us to justify. But in my method,
You have that.
Yeah, I have that, but I use, if they request me, how to say, because that is the most feasible method that that I can use. But they don't request. It must be recent. Yeah, I think it's a good idea if you can mention it. Why? Yeah.
Okay. So any questions from the members from the audience?
Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon, Dr. Hairul Aini and Prof. Roslina. Thank you for this session. I would like to congratulate Dr. Aini for the success in having this grant before. Just would like to ask, I think my question will be very superficial because I joined quite late just now. May I know this grant also open for clinical study or clinical research? Or it just needs to be included non-clinical element as well, like microbiology and so on? Thank you.
As I said, they don't specify whether it's clinical or non-clinical, as long as it's a medical and the biomedical science, you can apply. But I think even though it's clinical, it's good idea if you can include a little bit the laboratory work. Yeah, it's kind of a fundamental
collaboration between clinical and laboratory work. Is that
yes,
correct?
Yes.
True.
Because it's mentioned medical or biomedical.
All right. Thank you very much.
So any more question?
Sir,
Yes,
Dr. Hairul.
Waalaikumsalam.
Actually, I did apply for RBS. I did apply for RBS last year, end of last year. And so unfortunately it was rejected. But I thought the RBS they only funded they don't fund for student and for RA. They only funded for the material kan?
Yes, true. Only material only. Cannot no hiring RA or students salary, no.
I think that's where the medical we've got a big problem because I think blood taking they don't I mean for blood taking for honorarium it's not included in the grant kan. It's only the raw.
Yes.
For like last time I did apply so I asked for, I mean the budget is for to buy the reagent. Tapi itulah, but usually in the lab kita tak buy reagent. I mean we doctor we just pay for the services kan, for the test rather than reagent. So maybe in the grant kena masuk reagent ke, I'm not sure lah. Tapi I think medical is a bit tough lah to get.
Yes, true. It doesn't allow for hiring or for outsource. As I said, like when you ask for service from others, it's considered outsource lah. Maybe you can ask the secretariat first whether it is allowable or not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Ari, do submit again this year.
Yes.
Will you still have
Inshallah,
it?
try. Edit a bit and then try.
Yeah. Any more question?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, yes.
Hi, my name is Damira from PALM. I would like to ask a question. I'm intending to submit a RBS proposal this year, but it's quite different from the one that Dr. Hairul Aini presented. I mean, in terms of there's no investigator, it didn't ask about investigator. And the second question, I would like to know how to write a good impact, as in impact of the research, in order to attract the funder. Is there any tips to do that? Thank you.
Yeah, the tips is you read news, get to know what the current policies, what the current agenda of our government, and your study must towards their policy that can fill up their policy, that can fill up their agenda. Yeah, read the newspaper, and you write the portion or something that you get it from their policy, and you put it in the section A, B, and C just now, right? And then that is a basis saying that this policy is like that, and your research can achieve towards the filling up the gap in the policy lah, or reference or the guidelines. I even wrote, like, for example, last time it will contribute to the governmental policy or something like that when talking about the infectious diseases, right? And then from WHO also they have a program. UNESCO also have SDG is something else that you can look up. So what is their aim and objective? So yeah, is it okay? Is it clear, Dr. Damira?
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Dr. Damira, you can also, this is advice from Prof. Basri. He said to watch the news. When you watch the news every day, you can see what are the issues being highlighted. So from there, you can tackle what kind of issue you want to go through when you apply for grant. And then look at the my STE. I think this morning I've shared to the research coordinators the MOSTI grant. So in the MOSTI grant slides, the presenter highlight the my STE, the top 10 my STE. So if your research coordinator can already share that slide, you just look through again.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? If you have any proposals, Dr. Hairul Aini, I hope if they have proposals to submit for RBS, can they go through you first, and then you just give them your opinion, based on your experience? Is it okay?
Yeah, sure, inshallah.
So please don't hesitate. You can contact Dr. Hairul Aini. Okay, before you want to submit your RBS grant, you can contact her and ask her to read through. Maybe she can give her input. Who knows? It could be a better polished one before you submit. You never know. Maybe your luck you can get.
Yeah, inshallah.
So any more questions? So if no, thank you so much, Dr. Hairul Aini. May Allah reward all your good deeds by giving us the information today, sharing us your experience and everything. So if no question, then we can close the session with Tasbih Kifarah and Suratul As. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Dr. Hairul Aini.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Dr. Hairul Aini, do you mind sharing the slides so that we can give to the participant who came today?
Okay.
Or I can distribute to the Kulliyyah members as well.
Okay.
Thank you so
Sure.
much, Dr. Hairul Aini.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.